YouTubers? This is your boy Cartoon, and I'm here today to bring you another Bleach Brave Souls video. I'm going to be doing the 6-star 100% character analysis on none other than Kori no Tsukuchisa, Sode no Shirayuki. That's right, I'm going to be doing the 6-star 100% character analysis on the Ice Beauty Sode no Shirayuki. Let's get into this 6-star analysis, bad girl. Alright, so looking at her stats, she has really good stats, okay, and she's also a range type, so take note of that. She has an 804 stamina. That is fantastic for a 6-star and really good to contest with other 6-stars. An attack of 509, and once again she's a projectile type, and being a range type she actually has a really good attack for that. Not the highest, but still very notable. Next, defense 272. This is a bit on the higher side because it's above the average. Focus 256, once again above the average and not something we really care about too much, but it's a pretty good focus. And SP 564, this is outstanding SP, very close to 600, so her strong attacks must be crazy. Not to mention she is a strong attack damage user to boot. Okay, now let's get into her soul tree, see what this girl has under the hood. Alright, so looking at her soul tree, she has 5 attainable upgrades, none of which block her path to full completion of 150. So all you have to do is augment her and give her the appropriate jewels to level her up, which those appropriate jewels will be SP jewels, as you guys guessed it. Alright, so starting with her attainable upgrades from left to right, top to bottom, let's get this started. Sprinter, this increases the number of flash steps, very common, you all know this. Next, Berserker. This increases her strong attack damage. This is very good, especially seeing as that's her soul trait pretty much, so this is good. Next, Devastation. This increases her special move damage. I'm not a fan of this. You know this is a throwaway for me. This is not even by that much. Next, Debilitator. This increases the duration of the status ailment. This is fantastic for characters with freeze. It just helps because their abilities proc often. Next and last, Adrenaline. This increases her normal attack speed, so that is absolutely fantastic. Okay, she has 2 throwaways. I mean, the flash step I really don't count as a throwaway. It's really good for PvE uses. So GX has 1 throwaway, and that's just Devastation, and nobody cares about it. Debilitator, very good. Everything else very good on this character. I'm actually liking the way she's looking. I hope you enjoy the clips. Running a sad build. Sad build, Noitora raid, full boosties. Let's get it in. Alright, so since we're testing out a sad build, let's take note of her cooldowns. First strong attack, 8 seconds. Second strong attack, 16 seconds. And the final strong attack is going to be 24 seconds. Alright, that's fairly standard cooldown times. So without further ado, let's see what this sad build can do. Okay, I like that. Pretty decent crit. It still left some of the mobs out even though it hit all of them. The second one is okay. I mean, I don't really like the second one too much because it's such a small hitbox for it, and I don't think she had Havoc or anything to increase the overall AoE of her damage. So yeah, I do like the fact that her freeze procs really often because her strong attacks have multi-hits in them. They provide a really high chance of freeze, and that's very good. So a sad build could probably be, you know, one of the better stall builds, you know, because you don't have to do much to kind of keep the mob at bay. Okay, that being said, this character, if you're going to use this build, you are going to have to bide your time a lot because, you know, she just doesn't, doing against one mob, yeah, that's one thing, but when you have range guard to contest with, which this one pretty much does, she does have range guard break, which is fantastic since all her, you know, strong attacks have multi-hits. But, you know, when you're playing this character, if you're not using a cooldown, you know, reduction build or, you know, some type of SAR on your build, you're gonna actually have that hasty little problem of, you know, running out of strong attacks. Of course, I'm not running out of strong attacks because I'm mixing in my normals in conjunction with it, so you can actually see the normal attack damage and how often does it crit. Crits pretty often. you know, for just that little bit of focus that she has. And look at that. See, those ranged guys are a problem. It's, you know, I find her attack patterns very stiff, not for nothing as well. I don't find myself executing them and then being able to just completely bail out of them. Okay, you see that? I completely missed the Miranda Rider. Like, that's not good. Alright, and if you don't angle out... Oh, wow. Froze both of them. This... I'm kind of liking that freeze chance. Those multi-hits just give a high probability of the freeze just, you know, proccing on these guys, and that's always fantastic. It gives me so much time, and just that proc alone is so much control. I do like a sad build for her, but I'd probably recommend mixing in some SAR, you know. Sode no special. No Tenshintai. No Itora. Oh wow. Whoa, that did okay damage. Running a SAR build. SAR build, Noitor raid, full boosties. Let's get it poppin'. Well, alright, so first things first, let us test out these cooldown times. So first strong attack, 5 seconds. Second strong attack, 11 seconds. And last strong attack, 16 seconds. There might be points, so I'll just, you know, put them in the bottom. Alright, so it's pretty decent recharge time as always. And she doesn't, like, her strong attacks don't suffer all that much. She still has that 30% extra additional SP. And it seems to be working pretty fine. Not to mention she also has extra attack. And I don't find myself biding my time too often for a cooldown. And that's also fantastic because her being ice gives her a specific degree of control with any build, and then, you know, to top it all off, I'm getting the control build, which is SAR. So, you know, essentially I'm just launching these strong multi-hit strong attacks, getting that extra chance in freezing, and not, wow, she's not actually all that bad with this build. She's still producing, you know, somewhere around a K when she crits of damage on her NAD, which is not bad. I don't really use her for NAD, and you see, just as many hits as that just did, it was gonna freeze him with something. It's just like that. That freeze chance is just crazy with this character. She has such a degree of control. I like this build. Like, I haven't seen a really decent SAR build since, but, you know, and it just pushes mobs back. It's so controlled. I love that. You get to keep your distance completely, depending on the mobs, of course, because if this was Miranda Riders, you kind of handle that just a little bit differently. You know, you don't want them to, you don't want to be within the range. And then also these guys, these stupid recharge guys, range guard guys, or whatever. Oh god. Alright. I like the fact that she has range guard break. That makes her really, you know, that makes her a really good range character. I mean, a lot of characters nowadays do have the range guard break, especially if they are ranged, but it's just, you know, people like Byakuya don't, and, you know, sometimes it gets really troublesome. So when you're running a SAR build, it actually helps out a lot. But you're just able to just continuously launch a barrage of strong attacks, and they're supported really well with her normal attacks when she's at that distance. You get these nice strong attacks to just push mobs back, and then these nice normal attacks that kind of just close in on the mob if you want to, but, you know, you could just stay back and just keep shooting. This is one of the best builds for her. SAR build, really good. I like it. Running a NAD build. NAD build, Noitor raid quest, full boosterinos. Let's get it poppin'. Alright, since we're running a NAD build, people, you know what I gotta do, test out the string, which every one of her attacks look fairly similar to one another. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 hit string. Okay, that's what it is, and it's just her launching a bunch of ice pillars. So without further ado, let's just get it in. Now, I'm gonna start off really far back in this, of course. Wow, those chappies and that attack is crazy. It's actually doing 2k damage on the reg. That's pretty decent. Her strong attacks they do suffer with the chappies, of course. But let's see how much they do. Oh my god, these guys. Right, these are not the good mobs to test this out on. Oh wow. Alright, so let's test it on these guys. Okay. She doesn't do good sad damage, but it's not that bad either. Her strong attack damage is, you know, what I kind of expect for a chappy user, really. You know, it's not like, oh my god, it's really not doing anything. But there's still pushbacks for what it's worth, and that's what makes the build completely viable with her. I mean, look at that. The Nat is crazy. She's launching literally 2k a hit. You know, just pretty much in one string doing 6k damage. You know, somewhere from like 5.5 to 6k damage, easy. And, you know, just keeping my distance. This is the thing right here, you know, and you can still guard break with your strong attacks, your projectile guard break, and you're gonna keep all mobs at bay just using your strong attacks, and it's free. You don't have to wait for cooldowns. That's what's the perfect part about it. So yeah, I'm actually liking this build more than I thought I would. I thought I wouldn't because I have to note this. She has a very stiff string, you know, it's really stiff. It's not one of those strings where you can like kind of, you know, finagle around and shoot and stuff like that. It's not one of those. It's kind of like a really stable kind of thing. They really work well in conjunction with her strong attack, so she probably will lose points on the string alone, but really good build. I'm surprised. Well, there you have it. That's my 6-star 100% character analysis on Sode no Shirayuki. In the end, you find out that this character is fairly decent with every build. She's great at a SAR build, that's why it gets the top score. The middle is a NAD build, and then at the end is a SAD build. Not too far at the end where it's not viable, it's just not my favorite. So the breakdown for this is fairly simple. A SAR build is the most perfect build to work with this character, and it's for a number of reasons. One, her strong attacks have multi-hits and they can proc a freeze chance. So with that, essentially, she has a very high probability, moreover than most people, to do a freeze chance on people, and that's like really good. Okay, the next thing about her strong attacks is that they're controlled strong attacks. They're going to launch mobs back a considerable distance and put them right into that range zone for you and allow you to accompany your strong attack with a barrage of normal attacks as well. And just keep that consistent combination, and also at the same time keep that safe distance from you and the mobs. You know, the playstyle with her is just completely safe. I mean, the clear times are not that high, but it's just completely safe. And since the normals and strongs work so well, you know, in combination with each other, it's just well received as a SAR build user. Next on the list would probably be a NAD build, and that's because this girl could do 2k across the room with a NAD build. You know, no SP. She doesn't produce a lot of strong attack damage, and that's where she suffers. However, the strong attacks are still controlled strong attacks, so they're still going to push mobs out and allow you to get your normal attack damage and more. Plus, they're also guard breaks, so she can actually break range guard and still continue with the barrage of normal attacks. They're doing 2k on neutral mobs when they crit. This is awesome on this character, and it's another really strong asset on her. The last thing is the SAD build, and the SAD build is not a bad build. I just don't find that it does a lot of damage, and you need a lot more than what I was giving her to do more damage. And you know, with extra augmented attack and spiritual pressure by 30%, you know, I'm figuring a good range of her damage should be there, but I just kind of don't like biding my time for waiting for these long cooldowns on strong attacks and just using these little Ks of normal attacks, especially with such a stiff string. So it kind of disconnects the normal and strong attacks, and it doesn't work out for me. She's also a purple character, so in any and all raids, she's going to be doing stock damage plus with whatever build you want to use on her, and that is always a plus. Not to mention the fact that I hear she's pretty good in PvP too, so her versatility just is off the charts. Okay, she receives the builds really well. She's good in PvE and in PvP, so she has uses in both departments. She's a SAD link essentially, and you know, I just can't find many flaws with this character. So if you have her in your roster, this character gets a complete A+. So please level her up. She deserves it, and she's worth the jewels. But you know, that's my analysis. You're more than welcome to disagree or make up your own opinions, because that's what this is about. Either way, that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'll be bringing you more Bleach Brave Souls content throughout the week. I'm your boy Scartoon, and I'm signing out of here.
Dude, chill. Productions!